This week's task is to create a Felix and Herbert game. It's basically a cat and mouse game where you're the mouse and you have to stay away from the cat. So we're going to follow these instructions. So we're going to look for the activity checklist, follow these instructions one by one, test the project out by clicking on the green flag. You can save your project if you wanted to, but obviously all saves are going to be online now because we created an account. So the first step is we want Felix to move with a mouse pointer. So it says start a new project, which we've already done. Click on the stage next to the sprite and switch to the backgrounds tab, and then import the background indoors hall. Delete the original background. So we're going to start that one first. As you notice, Scratch has changed a little bit now. So if you look on the editor now, the stage is down here. We've got backgrounds on the bottom on the right hand side. So I'm going to click on that. Then at the top, then you can see my tabs have changed. Okay, before I was on the sprite look, when I'm on Felix, but here it changes to costumes and so on. But when I click on the stage, it goes to backdrops. I'm going to select a backdrop. So I'm going to choose a backdrop at the bottom, choose a background. It was on indoors and it was the hall. The next step then it says change the name of the sprite to Felix. I'm going to ignore step 4 and then we're going to write this script in here. The script basically says when the flag is pressed forever, we're going to point forward, we're going to move, go to next, and then play the drum music. So when we go back to Scratch, we're actually in the backdrop. So I'm going to click on the sprite. We're going to change the name of the sprite. So just above it, I'm going to call it Felix. Then we're going to go to code. So in the code then we want the same sort of code blocks as what it was. So I'm just going to double check. So when clicked, forever, and so on. At this stage you might want to get it so that your screen is like split. So you might want to drag the instructions to one side of the screen. Then click on your Scratch editor on the other side of the screen. And then you can reduce the size of that if you need to be and increase the size of your work area. So I'm going to go to events, event when clicked. Then I'm going to choose a forever loop. A forever loop is in control because I'm controlling like the timeline of the game. So I'm going to go to the forever loop. Then I want it to point forwards. So that will be in that'll be a motion. So point towards the mouse pointer. If it doesn't say mouse pointer, you might just need to click the drop down box. Then you want it to move 10 steps. Then you're going to switch the costume. So he's going to change his costume. If you look, he's got 2 costumes here, 1 and 2. So he's going to flick between those. So that is in look. Go to next costume. So all color coordinated. And then you're going to play the drum. Well, drum, you'd think it would be in sound, but it's actually not here anymore. So actually to get that up, you need to actually add the extension on. So you need to click on add, and you want to add the music extension, and then you got play drum is there. So play drum, and you can add that in. And you can alter the beats to 0.3. Right, the next thing it asks me is to test my project out, and then it asks a couple of questions. Does Felix move with the mouse pointer? Does he look in the right direction, and so on? So to test out the game, I'm just going to click on the little green flag at the top. And we should hear the drum, and also the fact that he's moving around towards the mouse. So have a little think about these questions now before you go to step 2.